locker room. This is before the game ended. Before the game ended. She comes out in the locker room and posts this. Like, what are we doing?
Sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, is anybody on this team gonna stand up for Caitlin Clark? JC Sheldon grabbing Caitlin Clark all game, clawing at her. It's like tonight was a brawl, folks. Tonight was a brawl, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, is anybody on this team going to stand up for? And Sophie Cunningham.
What happens when Sophie Cunningham transforms into a one-woman demolition squad and takes it upon herself to shadow Caitlin Clark like it's her WNBA destiny? Absolute mayhem. We're talking on-court fireworks, locker room tension in the Sun camp, and Sophie dishing out smoke like it's a 2-for-1 special. This isn't just drama. It's premium, top-shelf chaos. When Sophie snapped, she didn't just respond. She went full superhero mode and lit up the entire Sun roster. Buckle up. This ride's hotter than Angel Reese's trending tweets.
Start with the play that set off the entire night. So as you guys can see here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin Clark nudges her off because JC stays in her face. And then Tina Charles runs over and is kind of wagging her finger in Caitlin Clark's face. And then Marina Mabrey comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor. Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin's gonna have to start wearing goggles. And then Caitlin pushes her off of her, like, why are you still in my face? Marina Mabrey, bad out of hell, chucks Caitlin.
The moment Sophie Cunningham clocked in, the entire WNBA should have filed an insurance claim. Because Sophie didn't show up to play ball, she came to lay down the law. And by law, we mean shadowing Caitlin Clark through every cheap shot and full-court ambush like she was guarding the crown jewels in the middle of a brawl. This wasn't basketball, it was personal.
To WNBA Fight Night, or as some people are saying, WNBA Raw. What a game that was. We had it all. We had basketball, we had fighting, we had blonde on blonde crime. Oh, such an epic. Oh, goodness. But at the end of the day, it resulted in an Indiana Fever W. 88-71, taking care of business.
Forget teammates. Sophie's operating like a Secret Service agent moonlighting as a one-woman wrecking crew. Try to elbow Caitlin? Boom. Sophie materializes like a WWE tag team surprise, ready to wreck your shoe deal and your dental plan in a single motion. Bump Clark after the whistle? Congrats, you just triggered the full-forced fury of a certified enforcer with a silky jumper and zero patience for your nonsense.
Let's start here. This is, of course, Sophie and Sheldon going down the floor. Sophie tries to wrap her up, and Sheldon gets to the floor, and all hell breaks loose. And Sophie said, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. We'll go. We'll go. So there's that. That, of course, was all a byproduct of this right here, folks. And I mean, when I tell you social media is setting the WNBA on fire right now, not in a good way, that's the understatement.
She's not here to ask questions. She's here to deliver verdicts. The court becomes her courtroom, and the sentence is always the same. Relentless pressure, no appeal. This isn't protection, it's domination by proxy. Sophie's mastered the science of the perfectly timed shoulder check, the stare that snatches souls, and the kind of try-me body language that makes even the league's toughest vets hesitate before testing the perimeter.
Of course, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected because that was unwarranted. She literally came out of nowhere and chucked Caitlin Clark. There should be a flagrant one, of course, on JC Sheldon because she swiped her and hit her in the eyeball. Whether it is intentional or not, you can still have a flagrant a flagrant foul called on you, whether you are trying to intentionally hurt somebody or not. But this is what they called, you guys. This is what they called. Caitlin Clark, Marina Mabrey, Tina Charles were assessed with technical fouls on Tuesday. Caitlin, Marina, and Tina Charles. Technical fouls. That's it. Technical fouls. That's it. and JC Sheldon was assessed with a flagrant 1 foul, and no players were ejected.
Sophie Cunningham doesn't wait for drama. She sees it coming like she's tapped into the opponent's group chat. The second things get chippy, she's already closing in. She's not here for warm-up rituals or post-game hugs. Her mindset is simple. Touch Caitlin Clark, and you've got a problem. She's the WNBA's human alarm system, always on high alert while others are doing teen yoga. One sketchy move toward Clark, and Sophie's already sizing you up. This isn't just protection, it's a full-blown defensive crusade. She doesn't walk into games with calm energy. She charges in like she's looking for a reason to bring the chaos. This level of fierce loyalty wrapped in quiet menace. You don't teach that. You just survive it.
Sophie Cunningham put me out on a high note, folks. I didn't even say, Ben, calm down. Calm down, regroup. I didn't even say that. Let's get straight to the play. Everybody, the plays everybody is talking about. First off, Marina Mabrey body checking Caitlin Clark to the ground. JC Sheldon all over her. Riding her. Pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye. Oh, man. Caitlin Clark needs to start wearing goggles, folks. Caitlin Clark's going to need to start wearing goggles. Bumps up on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark says, "Get your hands off me." And then here comes Marina Mabrey. Boom! Exploding Caitlin Clark like a safety coming downhill in the NFL. There was no...
The WNBA hasn't seen this kind of unapologetic ride-or-die energy in years. It's Dennis Rodman with a girl boss twist and a personal vendetta against passive aggression. Sophie Cunningham doesn't just show up. She hurls herself into the eye of the storm and dares it to hit harder. Let's be real. Caitlin Clark entered the league with a target so massive it deserves its own zip code. Rookie of the month? Please. She was enemy of the month. Every month. Not just to defenders, but to entire roasters treating her debut like it was open season on the rookie with the limitless range. Some came to compete. Others came with old grudges, petty receipts, and beeps that had nothing to do with her, but landed on her anyway. What they didn't count on was Sophie Cunningham, watching like a hawk that skipped brunch and was starving for chaos.
I have in recording this reaction earlier with 1 minute left, and all hell broke loose between JC Sheldon and Sophie Cunningham, and it is very clear the Indiana Fever, some of these girls on this team are finally fed up. Finally fed up. Once again, WNBA, we're not talking about your basketball. We're talking about the WNBA WWE Raw circus that you got going on right now, and we all know this incident with Sophie stems from the incident that was clearly not handled correctly by the WNBA and the
They underestimated how fast one woman could turn a court into a no-go zone. While Caitlin Clark drew the spotlight, Sophie Cunningham handled the heat, seal-spined, sharp-eyed, and unapologetically protective. This wasn't about stats or highlights. It was about making sure Clark didn't have to brace every time an elbow flew. While the lead plotted, Sophie showed up like a one-woman security detail with a grudge. Caitlin didn't come in alone. She brought Sophie, and Sophie doesn't just walk you to safety. She clears the entire parking lot and makes sure everyone remembers exactly why they shouldn't try it again. For every shove Clark takes, Sophie delivers a reckoning, and it's always in full view.
All right, enough is enough. At some point, the line gets crossed too often where something needs to be done and things need to be corrected. And that is certainly the case with the way things around Caitlin Clark are officiated. This is a constant problem now. It is something that since the beginning, I've kind of backed off on because physical play is a part of sports. Going after a superstar and trying to rough them up a little bit to get in their head is a part of sports. But when it crosses the line, the referees need to do their job.
When some players got cute with cheap fouls and sneaky screens, Sophie Cunningham snapped into full medieval mode. No hesitation, just pure basketball vengeance in a ponytail. She didn't pause before stepping between Caitlin and trouble, like she'd been waiting to go full Terminator her whole career. This isn't a performance. Sophie doesn't do fake tough. She's not here for weak, we play physical excuses while someone tries to body Clark into physical therapy. If you're coming for Caitlin, Sophie's already in position, screening you into next week with enough heat to earn a retroactive fine. This isn't defense anymore. it's deterrence. And when a player starts walking toward Caitlin like they got something to prove. Sophie sees it first, and suddenly they're heading to the bench, not even sure why. Just instinct.
Engelberg. Hello, Earth to Kathy Engelberg. Are you going to step in and do something about this trash that's going on? Players are getting assaulted on the floor. Like, come on, Caitlin Clark could have really got injured right there, y'all. She could have really got injured by these haters, these jealous, hating players. They just jealous and hating, bro. She didn't even get ejected.
Caitlin Clark, please leave this league and let it crumble. Please, this league does not deserve you. All this hate from these black people, all this hate from these lesbians, these people in the media, just go play basketball somewhere else. Your fans will follow you. We will follow you wherever you go. But let this shit crumble and burn to the fucking ground, man. Let the viewership drop below 50%. Let them lose hundreds of millions of dollars again, man. Let them go back into fucking irrelevancy. Nobody giving a damn about none of these players. Just leave.